Failed with major repairs. Technical repair report for bidding. Restoration with permit by a fully licensed vendor. Engineer oversight. 3 site visits. Certification with owner liability in lieu of a load test. Load test still may be required by the AHJ.
Fire escape engineers inspect the summary video. This fire escape here is on the B side of 49th Street. So let's take a look at, this is a single-story fire escape going to a doorway here that is active. They use this building, looks like it's a stairwell exit and some other things in here. So, but the fire escape is in very bad condition. There's no life safeties at this time, but she's pretty close. So a lot of times we determine the life safety when the tread, for example, is physically broken. But as you can see, the amount of rust jacking on this is tremendous. For 2 things, paint and structural. Fire escapes must be structurally sound, they must be kept painted. She has not been kept painted, she needs a full paint job. Anybody that's gonna paint this must follow EPA rules and guidelines. Since 2010, EPA, there's lead paint on this, so you have to follow the EPA rules and guidelines for scraping and painting a fire escape, okay? Now, water has accumulated, there's no weep holes anywhere, so water has accumulated. You got rust jacking in every joint here, as you can see. It goes into the side there and it weeps down, and you'll see the effect of that. This looks like probably a replacement tread because somebody came here before and they did a band-aid here. They put this tread in, but yet all the other treads were just as bad. So somebody must have fell, something must have happened. But again, you know, if you don't have the right people inspecting or watching the vendors, they'll do the minimum, collect the maximum, but there's rust jacking in every one. So there's no weep holes. So water's gonna collect, snow. You throw salt on this thing and she'll just start rusting completely. Okay, coming down. She needs to be cleaned on the back side here because obviously that's rotting the piece there. She's sitting here. You gotta make sure that none of this, a lot of times you wanna clean that up, prime it, and then you wanna put tar, black tar. The railings are all welded railings. They seem to be in good order, seem to be fairly new, but again, this is all welded connections, and so it's not uncommon for water to get inside and rot these welds from the inside out. So the load test would verify whether or not this will take a 200-pound lateral load test. And as you can see, a lot of these welds sometimes are not the most professional. So the biggest concern is underneath here. See all the water that's coming down? So a 1/4 inch of rust will become, I'm sorry, a 1/4 inch of steel will become 1 inch of rust. So as it rust jacks, okay? So I can literally just keep peeling away this fire escape, okay? So let me peel some more for you. So see, this is what happens to, you know, 1/4 inch of steel becomes 1 inch of rust, okay? And that's all around. So this whole piece here needs to be refurbished. Diamond plate, weep holes, and then you start going down the stairs, as you can see, so quite a bit, right? All the way across, okay? It's all blown out inside there. Look, no cement inside there. She has a leg to the ground here. Looks pretty good. But again, all welded, so it's not uncommon. If you don't paint these things, and there's no weep holes, water will accumulate, salt will accumulate, and she'll go to the corners, and then she'll rot it out. So but this is still salvageable. You can still, so this whole upper area needs to be refurbished or replaced. An EO will tell you that. This definitely has to be watched by a design professional. That's the next phase of this inspection. If you so wish to use us at Fire Escape Engineers. Otherwise, a design professional, registered architect, a registered engineer, can take this project on, and this is what he has to guide the vendor and make sure that he's doing the repair, and that usually involves 3, if not 5 visits. A project of this size probably includes just about 3 visits. Look at all the rust jacking. Okay, so that's all just blowing it away. And so that's popping. So every one of these treads, you have to knock off all this welds, and it's all got to be rebolted. No welding allowed. So everything's got to go back with bolts because there's lead paint on this. Everything's got to be rebolted. Removed, no torches. You got to use grinders. Okay, and every single one of these treads is bad. Rust jacking, every single one. Okay, scrape, prime, paint. Lead paint rules must be followed, otherwise it's a $37,500 fine for the EPA. Renovator's license, okay? So that's dealing with the lead paint, and the whether or not there's a permit will be determined by the activity that is going to be described by the design professional as to whether a permit is needed for this maintenance and repair. Any questions, Fire Escape Engineers? 866-649-0333.
Load test still may be required by the AHJ. Failed with major repairs. Technical repair report forbidding. Restoration with permit by a fully licensed vendor. Engineer oversight. 3 site visits. Certification with owner liability in lieu of a load test. Fire escape issues. Photos represent what the violations are, not where they are or how many exist. Pass-fail inspection, not technical repair report.